Good morning. Welcome to Showcase. My name is Kenny Chrysler. I'm the manager of the video department here. And I'd like to welcome Jesse Parker from Sound Devices. We've just become the newest sound device dealer, and we wanted to introduce some of the great equipment that they manufacture and that we will be selling here at Showcase for you. Take it away, Jesse.
All right. I guess I'd like to start with the Pix 240i. This is a camera mountable video and audio recorder. It records ProRes and DNx HD QuickTime files all the way down from 36 megabit proxy files to ProRes 4444 from any 3G SDI RGB 444 source. So we record these ProRes and DNx HD iframe codecs wrapped with up to 8 channels of audio that we can receive from the embedded SDI stream. There's 2 analog audio inputs. They're line inputs as well, and they can also be AES-3 and AES-42 inputs. So it has mic, line, phantom power. It has the limiters in it. And it records these as QuickTime files to a removable solid-state drive connected to the Pix Caddy. So these files are edit ready, and we can offload these files through the Pix Caddy with either FireWire 800, USB 3, or eSATA-P. So we connect to the drive, it becomes the SSD becomes a bus power drive, and we can offload our files immediately and begin editing. The 240i has a lot of applications, actually. We can use it as, I mentioned, a ProRes or DNx HD video recorder, but it also has a built-in timecode generator, so we can receive timecode, jam to external timecode, be the master generator on set, so we have a very stable and accurate timecode generator. It also has a built-in hardware scaler and frame rate converter, so we can do things like come in HD, come out SD. We can remove pull downs from video streams. In the case of this here, where you got the Canon C300, we're coming in PSF, and we can record that as progressive by activating the scaler in the menu. So it's a menu-driven system. You can see here we have our file storage options, which drives we want to record to. We have SSD or compact flash up here on top. And so all of the settings of the Pix 240i are accessed through this menu here. It's also really good for playback applications and video assist applications. So we can record files, and when we stop, we can play them back immediately. We can pause, we can skip through frame by frame. It also features focus peaking, exposure assist, and one-to-one pixel mapping. So we have a lot of playback and monitoring features on the Pix 240i. I suppose the last thing I want to talk about here would be the IPS display. Originally it was the Pix 240, and it was a rolling hardware update to the 240i, so we went from the original LCD to an IPS display, which has better off-axis viewing, better color accuracy. It's a glossy screen, so we have a sharper image. So yeah, that's the Pix 240i. This is the 260i. It has all the features that the 240i and 220i have. Plus we have added support for machine control over a network, over an Ethernet network, and we support 32 channels of audio in and out through the use of Dante, which is an audio over Ethernet protocol. A unique thing about the 260i would be that when we connect a computer to, or when we connect this 260i to a network, any web browser can access the embedded web server of the Pix 260i and have complete machine control remotely within that network. So if we have multiple Pix 260i's, we can group them, tell them to record all simultaneously. We can change them and essentially have them work as one single unit, and we don't even have to be sitting in front of it to do the things we need to do. You can see it kind of has the VTR style rack front panel here, big start, stop, play buttons, rewind. And you can see the back here. It also has SDI in and out. It's got HDMI in and out, just like the 240i. Time code in and out. It's got sync in and out, so we have a Genlock source on set. GPIO for remote control. And another difference is the files are actually stored on 2 removable drives located behind the LCD. So we have 2 drives here. There's 2 eSATA P ports here, so we can record on up to 4 drives simultaneously, or we can have a sequential record mode, so where one drive fills up, it'll roll on to the next drive, and we can even tell the full drives to enter the network mode, so we can begin offloading files over our Ethernet network. So I think, yeah, it supports RS-422 control, and we have our line outputs, AES inputs, AES outputs. So another application would be a Dante embedder, de-embedder, so we can route audio in and out of a network very quickly through the use of just one single box. So these are our 2 flagship audio devices. This is the 664, it's a Sound Devices field mixer. This is the 788T. It is a field recorder. So with the 664, it's 6 inputs over, we have 6 balanced XLR inputs. These can be mic line switchable, AES3, AES42, and then we have 6 direct outputs here. We have our sweepable trim, fader, high-pass filters, continuously variable pan. Each of these inputs have their own PFL, or your pre-fade listen mode, so where we can take these inputs, they're going to outputs to camera, but we can also, through the monitoring path, individually isolate each of these inputs through a monitoring path and verify that we have good levels, that there's no clipping or over-limiting. And we can see all the input settings here on the LCD. So we can very quickly switch between mic and line level, turn on and off phantom power, route to the left and right mix, aux1 and aux2. And what's unique about the 664 versus our other field mixers is that we can ISO record each of these inputs within a poly wave file on top of recording a left and right track and an aux1 and aux2. So right out of the box it has 10 tracks of recording. And these are recorded as industry standard broadcast wave files with all the metadata associated with production sound to compact flash or SD cards. So it's all removable media, there's no internal drive. So if production hands us compact flash cards, we can pop it in, record all of our files, and hand those off as dailies. As far as outputs go, we have 2 Hirose 10-pin outputs, so that's your left and right mix, and a stereo return from camera. We also have 2 XLRs, and then they have their own stereo return, so we can return monitor up to 3 inputs simultaneously. And then we have a left and right output on TA3Fs, and then aux1 and aux2 outputs on TA3Fs as well, so we could have dedicated outputs for the sub-mix. Another interesting feature about this for bag run-and-gun applications, especially sound mixers that have a boom op, we have a dedicated comm line back here, so we don't have to burn an input to establish a private line between this production sound mixer and the boom operator while we maintain global communication through the use of our slate. So that's about the 664. Oh, and it also has a built-in ambient timecode generator as well, just like all of our other products. So we can jam to smart slates, receive external timecode from cameras or other timecode generators we find on a set through 5-pin LEMO. And this is the Sound Devices 788T. This is a 8-input field recorder. It has 4 XLR inputs, 4 TA3 inputs. They're essentially the same, just for compactness we went with TA3. And it records up to 10 tracks as well, or it records 12 tracks actually. We can ISO record each of these 8 inputs, plus our left and right mix, plus aux1 and aux2. So 12 tracks of recording. This is also menu driven, so we can access all of our settings right through the front panel menu right there. And the files here are recorded to either the internal mechanical or solid state drive. There's 2 different versions, the 788T, the 788T SSD. It can also record to compact flash or external FireWire drives. So we can do that simultaneously, and we also have control over which tracks go where. Based on our production requirements, we can very quickly tell which tracks to go to which media, so we can pass off to post or video post, audio post, or to keep personal backup files throughout our production. So yeah, we have 4 balanced TA3 outputs we can route any of the inputs to, or route any of the tracks to. And we have a unbalanced 5 and 6 outputs, so generally for Comtex or stereo feed to your boom op. And this also has time code in and out over 5-pin LEMO. So that's pretty much the basic rundown of the 260i, 240i, 664, and 788T.